Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be doing the Pisces bracelet, which is the next one in the Zodiac series. I'm excited to get this out to you. This is a loom design. It takes 189 bands. It is reversible if you want to wear it on the back side. So the breakdown of the bands, you will need 46 of this aqua color in the middle. You'll need 42 of the dark purple, 44 of the light purple, and 47 of this turquoise color that's squished in between the purples. So I'll have that all down below in case I went too fast for you. But without rambling on too much, let's get our bands ready and we can go ahead and get started. So to get started, you will need to have a total of 10 bar pins. This is a 5 wide design. So the middle is exactly like a regular loom setup where it's staggered, but the outer rows are aligned like this. And then you'll just have the next 5 set up directly in front where the blue bases are. Now, if you don't have these purple bases, which these are very helpful for wide designs, you can still make this design. You will just need to have a bunch of these smaller ones throughout to make it nice and tight. Excuse me. I don't have a video showing how to do this setup. I do have one showing a 4-bar aligned setup, so you can watch that, and from there you should be able to figure out how to do this. If you're still struggling, let me know, and I will try to find time to do that for you. It's been a very crazy week. That's why I missed posting last week, so hopefully you can get this setup done, but let me know if you cannot. So let's get started. The first bands that you're going to choose are going to be the ones that are in the center here. And I'm actually going to use that same color. So we will start by laying one here in the very center, and that's going to be for when we close it up. From there, we will go straight and then horizontal across it like a T or a plus sign. We'll do that again. Go straight and then cross it like a T. You can, of course, lay all the straight and then come back and do all the crossed ones, but I find it easier to just do it as you go. These are a limited edition band. They are very, very tight, so hopefully it works out okay. The ones I used in my last bracelet were used ones, so they were already kind of stretched out. These ones feel very tight. I haven't tried to do this design with a different color. Like I used the same color for the straight and the horizontal. I have yet to try it with a different color. So maybe one of you guys will try that and let me know how it looks. So I'm going to be laying a total of 23, I think 23 sets. Yes, I'm going to be laying a total of 23 of these. And that gets me almost 7.5 inch bracelet. Of course, that does depend on the type of band you're using, but it should be somewhere close to that. I believe I told you guys before that my son was going to be graduating. Well, he officially graduated, and then we had his graduation party all within 3 days. So it was like really busy, and it's like a whole process when I do a video. I have to make the bracelets, and then I do the pictures. I have to write down the band count, and sometimes different bands work out differently. So it's just a whole process getting ready for the video, and I just did not have time to do that. So that is why this video is late, and I apologize. So this makes 23 sets, which is where I'm going to stop. So take a second and push all of those down, and then we will lay the next layer. Alrighty, so I pushed mine down, and now we are going to lay the dark purple that's in this bracelet here. On the side, I am going to use this blue color. I am mixing a lot of different type of bands today, so let's hope that works out. I don't usually like to do that because some are tighter and looser than others, but we'll see. Hopefully it'll be okay. So we're going to be laying a bunch of diagonal bands. We're going to start on the very first pin right here, and we are going to go diagonally up to the right. Come up to the next row, right where that horizontal band is, and we'll go diagonal up. We're going to be doing this on both sides. I'm just going to run up the right side so my hand doesn't keep getting in your way. So we lay this all the way up except for the last row. So if you're doing it the exact same count that I am doing it, you will lay a total of 22 of these diagonal bands. So this one is actually my last one right here. So make sure that very last row does not have one going off of it. So if you count them, it should be 22 of the diagonals. We're going to come back up and do the same exact thing on the left side. Okay, so there is mine. So again, make sure you don't lay it on that last one. I kind of rushed through, so I'm going to go through and make sure that all of my diagonals are not twisted, and then go through and push them down, and then I will tell you what we're going to do next. So now you're going to choose whatever color you're going to use where my light purple is, right there. And I'm going to use a limited edition pink color. And we're just going to make a straight single chain going up the second and third row. So I'm going to start on this row here. And we're just going to lay it straight. We will take this down to the end. Like that. So the last straight band should line up with your last horizontal one. And then you'll need to do that on this row as well. Just like that. So we're going to come back to the beginning. I think in editing I probably would have fast forwarded that part. So if you're not caught up yet, just hit that pause button. And now you're going to want to decide what color you want for this glitter turquoise that's squished in the side there. I'll show you another color on this one. It's the purple that's squished in there. So I'm going to use this light, it's like a turquoise, palish, aqua color. So we're going to do the same thing that we did on these two rows, except we're going to do it on the outer rows. So on this pin here, we're just going to lay it straight And we'll go straight all the way up this side. So I am sure that a lot of you probably don't see the very ending of my videos. So before we even start looping, I just want to make sure you guys know at the very end, when it's time to take it off of the loom, this design is very important that you use your hook to release all of the sides before you go yanking it off, you know, by just pulling up. I know it's fun and satisfying to just pull it up, but for the wider designs, for most of them, it can mess the design up. If you just yank it, it makes things pull and stuff. So just take a minute, release the sides, and then you can pull up on the middle. But if you pull up on the sides, it will get distorted and it will not look great. So once you get to the second to last pin, we are not going to lay it straight there. So you should have a total of 22 straight ones on the side there. And then we're going to be crossing it diagonally in to meet this center. So again, there should be 22 straight ones there. And then we're going to cross this one diagonally over to the left and do that one more time to meet the middle. So it should look like that. We're going to repeat that exact same process on the left side. So I'm going to jump off and get this laid, and I will meet you guys here when I am finished. And I'm probably ahead of you right now, but just like we did on the other side, make sure you cross these over. Don't bring it down to the very end. It's the one before. And then we will cross this over diagonally, like so. I just realized that I don't have my base here at the end and it's very loose, so I am going to hop off and grab that really quick while you guys get caught up. Alrighty, so I have already turned my loom around and pushed my bands down, so make sure you do that. Turn it around, push everything down, have the openings facing yourself. We're going to grab one more band of that top color you just laid, and we're going to place a cap band on the center so we can start looping. So you're just going to wrap it around 2 times, just like that. And now we can grab our hook and start looping. So to start, we are going to loop out this V right here, just back to themselves. And that's all we're going to loop for now with that color. So go in the cap band, turn so I'm not blocking you. Grab the top band, and that will come to the right, which is back to itself. And then we'll go in that pin and bring that one back to itself, which is diagonally to the right. Just like that, and we'll repeat on the left side. Like so. So from here, we're going to be looping up the pink. Well, I zoomed in a little too much. So we're going to come to the second and third row, and we're going to loop the pinks straight up. Just like a single chain, nothing special or fancy. So we'll go into this pin here, grab the top layer, and just loop it forward. Go in that pin, grab the top again, and loop that forward. So they all go straight. This part is very easy. I will tell you though, there is a lot of steps. Even though they may be easy, there are a lot of steps in this bracelet, a lot of back and forths. Let me fix my blurriness. And what I mean by a lot of steps is, like for example, we're looping this pink right now. We will not be done with the pink bands. And then we'll loop these tealish aqua ones. We have to do like multiple steps with these 2 rows. But I find this bracelet fun, and I hope you guys do too. I tried to cut down a couple of the steps that we have to do to see like if it mattered, and it definitely changed the bracelet, so I wanted to keep it as is because I like the end result. So I did the right one, and now I have to do the same thing on the left one. So just like we did on that side, you're going to go in this band here, grab the top, and loop it straight up and repeat. So this is what it should look like right now. So I would actually go through and push that down some, because the next step we are going to have to pull a band over to this side, and you want to have room to do so. So I did jump ahead and came back down to the beginning after pushing all of mine down. And now we're going to be looping the outer rows with the aqua color. I'm not quite sure what that color is called. But anyway, so we already looped this one over here to this pin, but that's where we need to start. You're going to need to grab this top inner part of that band that you looped there, and you need to pull it over and connect it to that pin there next to it, because that band should be wrapping around both of these and not just that one. Once you do that, we're going to come into this pin here, and you're going to act like you're just looping it straight like you would normally loop a single chain, but instead of letting go, you're also going to bring it over and attach it to the right, just like the one in front of it. So it should be always connecting to both of those pins, not just the one above. So we'll go in here. If they start to twist, if you kind of pull the band back towards yourself, it usually helps that twisting from happening. So I'll go to connect it like I'm going to connect it forward. Do not let it go. Also connect it to the pin next to it. Again, I always pull it towards myself to help with twisting. And then attach. So it should look like that all the way up, because we need to connect it to both sides, or both rows, I should say. And usually this pulling towards yourself helps after you get it off of the pin. So take it off the pin, then pull it back towards myself a little, and then go ahead and attach. I don't know if that works with all the bands, but it's just something I do out of habit when it starts to twist, and it usually works. So just a little tip for you. And you're still also going to do that to the last one as well. just like that. So once you get that side done, you will need to repeat it on the right side. So remember, we already connected this one here, but we need to grab it again, just the top band. You need to grab it because you also need to connect it to the one next to it because we didn't do that when we first looped the pink. Once you do that, then you will proceed as we did the other side, grabbing the top band, pull it forward, but also connect it to the pin next to it. So go ahead and get that looped up to the tippity top, and I will meet you when I am done. So I have reached the top. If you are still looming yours, you can certainly hit that pause button until you are caught up. So now that we've done that, we're going to come back down to the very beginning. And we are going to be looping part of the pink band row. So the second and let's see, I think I was saying second and third earlier. I apologize. It would be the fourth, second and fourth row. I just picked up on that. So sorry, but I'm sure you guys were following along, so it should be all good. Anyway, we're going to be coming to these two rows with the pink, and we're going to be just grabbing the very top band on each row and looping it over the pin. So for example, we'll start on this one here. We're just going to grab the very top. It should only be one band, the very top one, and you're just going to flip it over the pin and let it go. Come up to the next row. Come right here, grab the top band, and flip it over. We're going to do that all the way up. As you can see, I grab it from like closer to down here instead of the top. It's just easier because there's a little space right here. But that top band needs to get flipped on each pin. And this is what I meant earlier by a lot of steps. It's little things like this that we do a couple different times. We still will not be done with the pink row after this, but you'll see when we get there. There's the last one. Make sure you do that last one. And like I always say, we have to repeat that on the left side as well. So I'll come over here, grab the top, and flip it over. The left side's a little trickier for me because I'm on a weird angle. But go ahead through, just like you did on the other side. Flip them all over, and I am going to jump off and do mine. I'll be right back. So once you're caught up doing that, we will come back to the beginning. And now we are going to be looping the part of the diagonal band that are on the same pin that we were just working on. So right here is where we're going to go. I'm going to start on the right side because it's easier for me to show on film. And we're going to be looping it diagonally out to the right. So we'll come to this pin right here where that first diagonal band is. Push the top layers out of the way. I believe there's only 2 bands there. Grab the next one, which will be your diagonal, and you're just going to bring it over to the right directly next to it. Come up to the next one, push the 2 out of the way, grab the diagonal, and bring it next to it. This part's pretty easy. Don't forget the one at the very top. That's the last one on this side. We'll come back and do the exact same process on the left side, starting right here where that first pink one is. And you'll just bring that one to the left, like that. So I've got all my diagonals looped out. So we're going to come back to the beginning, and we are going to be now looping over that aqua color. That's right here. We're going to be looping on both rows. We're going to be looping that up and over and releasing it. So we're going to start on this pin here. So here is the very last pin that we have any band on. Go up one, and that's where we start. So what we're going to do is grab that entire band, the entire thing, there's two of them. You're just going to bring it over and sit it in the middle. Just let it go. Come up to the next one, grab that whole thing, bring it up, and let it go. I will tell you, it's going to start to look like a little weird, maybe a little squished or messy. Don't worry about it. I promise it will come out looking good in the end. So we're just basically grabbing the entire color there and flipping it over, and it's making it sit in the center there. So this part's pretty simple. And we will even do it on the very top one as well. Grabbing both of them and just flipping it up like so. So we'll come to the right side and we're going to do the same thing. Here's the last pin that we have any type of band on. Move up one, and that's where those bands are right there. Make sure you grab them both and repeat flipping them up and over. Don't forget the last one on the very top, like so. So once you do that, we are now going to come back to the beginning once again. I'm going to start on the left side here. For this very first row, all we're going to do is pick this diagonal, pick this diagonal band up here, and we're just going to roll our wrist and attach it to the row next to it right there. Now on all of the other rows, there's a band on top. So what we're going to do here is move that top band out of the way, grab the bottom one, and you want to be careful here. Then you roll it over and connect it to the pin next to it. You want to be careful here because there's not a whole lot that you're going into. You don't want to lose it because then it's really hard to find, to be honest. So just take your time when going in this band here because you don't want to pop it off. Just take it off carefully, bring it to the pin next to it, and reattach it. If you have to use your thumb to press this down to reattach it, it will not hurt anything. So that's what it's looking like. And we need to do that all the way up. It does actually help a little bit to push that down, especially when you're going to reattach it. And on the very top one, just like we did on the very first one, you're going to just grab it because there's nothing on top. You're just going to grab it and attach it back onto the pin next to it like that. So you'll have to repeat that same process on the right side. You might want to push them down a little bit before you start. Remember, the very first one, there's nothing to go in, so you're just going to carefully grab it and roll it over and attach it to the band or the pin next to it. And then all of the other ones, you'll be going inside this top band here, grabbing the bottom and very carefully attaching it to the pin next to it. This side for me is the trickiest because of the angle I am on, so I'm going to hop off of camera and do it off camera. I'm going to do one more here just so you can see. If you turn the loom like that, it definitely makes it easier if you're right-handed. But I'm going to jump off and get that done, and I will meet you back here when I am finished. Just a reminder, because I'm at the top, don't forget that there's nothing to go in on this pin. Do not forget to grab that one and bring it in to the center like so, because if you forget those, your bracelet will fall apart, and I do not want that to happen to you. So make sure you brought them in like so. So now we actually need to loop the pink bands one more time. So what we're going to now do, there's only one band left on the inside of the pin here, and it's on the inside on this one. So what we need to do is now flip that band up and over. So we'll start here where the first row of pink is. You're going to grab it wherever is the easiest to grab from. I say here because there's a nice space. You're just going to bring it over and sit it behind the pin like that. I know it looks crazy and there's tons of stuff squished in there, but I promise, as you've seen in the beginning, it's a beautiful bracelet. So we're just going to be grabbing that one band that's on the bottom there and bringing it up and over. Make sure you're not grabbing whatever color you used here. So whatever color is right there squished is not the one you're grabbing. It's the bottom one, which is my pink. So you're going to do that all the way up. The only one we are not going to flip is the last one at the top. It just helps give a little more anchor right here by not flipping it. So leave that one at the very top on there. And then come to the left at the bottom and we'll do the same. So come to the first one that has pink on it. and you will flip it over. I'm going to finish by doing it this way. It's easier for me to grab it. Remember, do not do the very last one on top. And now we are done looping all of those bands. So we're gonna, you can push them down a little bit just so you don't accidentally pull it off. You don't have to do it too much. But now we're gonna be looping the center bands, and this is like really easy in my opinion. So we're gonna go into the center where the cap band is and loop that forward. And then we're gonna come into the sides where that horizontal band is. It's the last band on that pin. So I always start on the left, and then I grab the bottom band, and you're going to bring that into the center. I'm using limited edition, so they're really tight. My bands are really tight there. This side's going to be even tighter because that's one band that we're bringing to the center. So go on this right side, push the top layers out of the way, and grab the bottom, and that is also going to come into the center. Like that. This first one's the tightest one. It's not like that. It's not as bad on the other ones. So we're going to push all of that out of the way. And this one, again, is very tight. So make sure you're getting, sorry, it's blurry. Make sure you're getting the very bottom band, which is the straight band coming from the pin in front of it. Loop that forward. And now we will loop both sides of the horizontal band there as well. So on the left, push all the tops out of the way. I'm sorry, my hand keeps making it go blurry, so I got to keep my loom down. Grab the bottom band, which is that horizontal band, and bring them both to the center. Like so. My bands are starting to pull off there. It doesn't matter because it's already locked in there, so don't worry about that too much. After you do that, we'll push everything out of the way. Grab the bottom, which is that straight band there. Bring it forward. Now we will do the horizontal, and they both come to the center. Like that. So you're just alternating looping the center straight and the horizontal to the middle. Mine popped off, but since I was still holding on to the band, it doesn't matter. That's all locked in already. I'm hoping these bands do actually work, because sometimes if you use bands that are really, really tight and then others are really stretchy, it doesn't look as good. And these are really stretchy bands and these are very tight. So I am a little bit nervous on how this is going to look together. But I guess we will see. So I'm going to continue getting mine looped up off of camera, and I will come back and show you how to put the C-clip on. So at the top, you just bring it into the center like you were doing on all of the other ones. And then we have this band that we laid here at the beginning to close it up. And you're just going to bring both of those ends together, and that's where you will attach your C-clip. Now remember to go through and release the side band that single band with your hook before you pull this up off of the loom. So I'm going to release those with my hook, and then I'm going to pop all these off by pulling it up. But it is really, really tight, so you have to go through section by section. You can use your hook if you're worried about bands breaking, and I will show you my bracelet when I have it off of the loom. Okay, and I forgot to warn you guys that the loom will probably pull apart as you're pulling this off. At least it did with me, so sorry for not warning you. But definitely give this bracelet a nice stretch just to help get things to fall into place. This came out really good. I was really worried about the limited edition bands along with these very stretchy jelly type, but it came out really nice. I'm very happy with it. So and here's the back side. To close it up, the cap band is down here squished up. So you just got to locate that, pull it out, locate your C-clip on this side, and attach. Like so. And that's it. So there you have my completed Pisces bracelet. I really hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I'm sorry that I am late getting it out to you guys, but I think it's a fun one. I hope you guys will enjoy it. Like I said before, I originally had a different design planned out for the Pisces. I love this one so much more, and I hope you guys do too. So if you do make one, please find me on Instagram and tag me under Loves to Loom. You can find me on Facebook under Loves to Loom as well, or email me at lovestoloom@gmail.com. I really do enjoy seeing your renditions, so thank you for sharing them with me. I will see you guys very soon at my next video. Thank you guys. Bye.